Okay, we're live for the second time today. Marvelous.
So you're going to show me how to create a squeeze page using Divi 3.
Yeah. Well, I was playing with Divi 3 on the day of its release, and it's really, really easy. So, you and I are trying to find new ways of doing what we do. So let me take you over, and if I screen share with you a second.
Okay.
What I will do is let's just make sure that the page itself is ready to rock and roll. It is. So if I go over here and screen share.
Okay. So first of all, tell me, why do I need a squeeze page?
Because let me just check what you can see.
Yeah, got your dashboard up.
Okay, cool. I'll leave that on dashboard for the for the minute. Okay, so yeah, I mean, look, the bottom line is that there are only 3 steps to finding clients, engaging with clients, and then being able to look after them the right way. Okay, so it's about setting up, firstly, some form of platform, which we have always said has been our own personal website on our own domain, because we are then in control. Okay, so any offers that we have, whether it's working with someone, whether it's private sessions, whether it's Google Hangouts, whether it's creating products, whether it's recommending other products that will work for our clients, the process is offer, squeeze page, traffic. So we're sending traffic to the squeeze page so that that can connect name and email addresses. And then once those people are on our list and we have the ability to look after those people the right way, then if there is an opportunity for us to build relationship with those clients and recommend either our own products or other people's products, we can write to them on a very simple and very gentle basis.
Okay. So presumably, although we're going to start with a squeeze page, you also need some form of collection of emails. So something like, I know we're using Aweber, but you can obviously use MailChimp as well, or something else. So let me just plug in. Going. Right.
Yeah, I mean, we use Aweber because from our side of things, Aweber is just incredible. But you have to pay for that. I think you get a 30-day trial for $1, but then it's $19 a month for up to 500 users. MailChimp, for example, gives you complete freedom, and you've got 2,000 people on your email list for free. But I like the functionality of Aweber, which is really cool.
Okay, so to create this squeeze page, what's the first step?
Okay, well, let me take you over to a squeeze page that I've already built. Okay, and if I just go here, and can you see that page there?
Yeah.
All right, so basically all I did was I created a page which is known as a blank page within Divi. Okay, now if I was to be logged out, that great big black bar along the top wouldn't appear. So the idea with this squeeze page is there's only one thing that somebody can do when they come to a page. And so all I did was I created a plain white background, and I'd done that because a couple of people that I follow online, Robert Planks, Tamashiro, when you look at their squeeze pages, there is only one thing that they can do on a page. Now, personally, I wanted to add a video on the page just so that people could see who I was and who I am and what I value, and ultimately give them an idea as to what they might be signing up to.
So can that video play now?
Yeah.
As an example.
This here
So this is just giving the overview of what Divi 3 looks like then.
Okay, so that there just gives people the ability. Now I've got to record the video for this. Let me take you back to another squeeze page I did the other day, and I'm hoping I've got the title right.
Okay.
Okay, so that's, I know what it is I called it free. Okay, so there is my squeeze page.
Okay.
Now, if I was to play that now,
I'm so pleased with the fact that you've made it.
So I'm not hearing sound. Is that because we're trying to run it through?
Sorry?
I can't hear sound from that video.
Okay, but what you can see is that there's a video on the page. It shows people who I am and shows people what I'm about, and then there's an opt-in page at the bottom.
Yeah.
And all I did with the headline was I worked out what exactly are people struggling with. And most people, if you think about you and I, when you think that the other day it took me a day and a half to do an 18-minute ScreenFlow video, most people struggle with creating content quickly. And so what you and I have learned over a while, really, is that there are certain platforms that enable you to create content really quickly, and you don't get into overwhelm. The reason that my video took a day and a half to make was because, as much as I love ScreenFlow, which is a screen capture program for the Mac, I'm not very quick at it.
Is that on your MacBook Pro?
It's on my MacBook Pro. So what Google Hangouts does, what Facebook Live does, is it gives you the ability to create incredible content, and you don't need to edit anything afterwards. And that's the reason why we're on a Google Hangout today, because once we've recorded this video, it will go straight into the YouTube channel, and it will mean that that content is created. And as long as we optimize it the right way, then, you know, we have another piece of value on the internet where people might be able to find us. So I created the headline, "Are you ready to have unlimited content creation ideas and explode traffic?" That may not be the best title, but the one thing I've learned in 5 years online is just get something up. You know, I can always tweak that headline. I can always do something with the video. I can always change the offer. But I found for myself, you know, I mean, I listened to a lot of Alex Jeffries, for example, and I was forever sitting there saying to myself, is this a good enough headline? Is this video good enough? Is this offer good enough? Well, get something out and get moving, get doing something. So the question is, how did I create that page where people can leave a name and email address? How did I create that? Well, I created it within Divi 3. So let's show you how I did that.
Okay, just one question before you go over to there. What would you say to people around actually putting themselves on video? Because I know from my own experience, it's incredibly scary. So how have you overcome getting yourself on video?
Do you know what? Even up to about a month ago, I was incredibly nervous about going on video. When you think that in a previous life I was a sales trainer and I was a former church leader, so standing in front of a group of people was no problem at all. But there is something very, very different about going on video. And whether it's because the moment is captured and it's there for all to see for forever after, I don't know. But what I've found over the last month or so is that I'm a far better talker than I am a writer. You know, if you go online, you see lots of people say, if you want to make incredible videos, then write a script first, read the script, and your videos will be brilliant. Well, I always found that I was sounding like I was reading a script. And so therefore people weren't engaging with me. And what you find is And what I found is, since I've been using Facebook Live and Google Hangouts, actually having myself on camera, even if I make mistakes, even if I stumble on my words, even if for whatever reason, as I show people around a WordPress platform, I show people how to use a piece of software, people don't mind the mistakes. It's real, it's natural, it's something that is completely and utterly understandable. And there's a vulnerability in that people seem to like. And sometimes when you script video, it's all very, very nice, but there's very little engagement. So, you know, video making, podcasting, ebook writing, everything that we're talking about, it all improves over time. And in 5 years' time, when I think about you and I and, you know, what type of content we're going to create, it's going to be far better than it is today. But you've got to start somewhere. You have got to start somewhere. All right, so let's show you how to do this. Right? So I'm going to go over to my dashboard. And I think the next piece of software that I want to talk about would be Google Hangouts, especially on the news of today that the Google Hangouts on our platform no longer exists because it's now been moved into YouTube Live. Okay, so it's still around, but it's just, you've got to get to it a different way. All right, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Pages, Add New, and then let's add a new page. Just waiting for that page to come up. Okay, so I can create my title here, which is what will show up in the browser bar at the top. But the first and most important thing is that we make sure that our template says blank page. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the Divi builder. Now we can either use it on the back end, or the whole point of Divi 3 was using it on the front end.
And it's Lush.
And it is Lush. All right, so all we do is we go to use the visual builder. There you go, told you, mistake there. So what happens when you try and talk too fast? Okay, and you see that spinning round. I'm going to hide this window for a second. And let's bring this back. Okay, and so here what you see, your blue section is your section. Your green is your row. And once you've added a row, then there will be a black circle underneath, which will be how to add a module. Okay. So I want my page to be white. So all I've got to do is I've got to add a module. I'm going to create a row, and I'm going to make it a full width row. I'm now going to scroll down, and I'm going to create text.
This is so much easier than the old way of doing it on Divi.
Exactly. All right. So now I can move this window around. I can do whatever I want with it. I can extend it out. I can do whatever I want to do. Okay. But now all I've got to do is I've got to now create my headline. Okay. So I'm going to make it a heading 1. It's now a heading 1. I'm going to put it in the center of the page, and we'll format it in a minute. But what I want to think of are 3 benefits for why people should be signing up, and 1 reason why they might not.
Okay.
So if we think about what are the 3 reasons why using Google Hangouts can help someone either in their own personal blogging, in a from a small business sense, from an entrepreneur sense. What Google Hangouts does is quick content creation, explodes traffic, and gives the ability to make videos easily. right?
I think it's also really helpful for collaborative working.
Okay, so let's come up with a statement. So let's say generate quick content. Right, if I could type. Quick content, collaborate with your team and explode traffic by making videos simply. Okay.
Yeah.
So there is our headline.
Yeah.
What we can do now is we can go over to the design
Mm-hmm.
and we can now create a maximum width. I know that I want to use the righteous default.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I'd like it in bold.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it staying at 30.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do want is I want a red headline.
So why would you particularly go for red?
I just think because it stands out.
Mm-hmm.
It really does stand out. Okay. So we can go down, we can have a look, we can change any text font, but we're not going to do any of that. Background color, we don't need any of that. We just click off there. And there
That's really nice.
is your headline. Okay. So then when we go up,
Mm-hmm.
we may want to add a sub headline. So let's add another row
Mm-hmm.
underneath,
Yeah.
and we're going to do another text module. Or what we could do, let's try it another way, is let's get rid of that and let's go back into the original.
Mm-hmm.
So if we go into the settings of that module,
Yeah.
and now what we can do, there is our headline.
Mm-hmm.
But now what we can do is we can create another paragraph underneath.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to get this here. Let's see. There you go. I need these scroll bars, but for some reason. There it is. That's what I want. What I can do now is go in here and now write without spending 18 hours on an 18-minute video.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I just put brackets around that, when I can find the brackets, there they are. All right. And then if I just center that,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Yeah.
and then save that, I now have a headline which stands out with a sub headline. And I could say that without spending 18 hours on an 18-minute video that happened to me only last week.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because there are people out there that spend that length of time on creating a video, and there's no need. Because if you think about, we did a Google Hangout this morning, and we recorded a 17-minute and 31-second video in 17 minutes and 31 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there was no need for that.
Yeah, but also I guess because some people will, especially if they're starting out and may not have the funds in order to outsource to Fiverr or Upworks or whatever it is, if they've already got the skills on video editing, then that's great. But if not, I think a lot of people like to try and play in order that they can create their own stuff, and it does take huge amounts of time.
Yeah, well, the other thing to look at is that, you know, who owns YouTube?
Yeah.
Google owns YouTube. You know, the quickest way to find yourself high in the search rankings is to give Google what it wants.
Yeah.
And Google Hangouts on Air, which no longer exists, but certainly YouTube Live belong to Google. So they are naturally going to favor their own content on their platforms in the search engine. And so creating content with the right keywords becomes easier to rank just because you're playing ball with the biggest search engine in the world. All right. Now, all I'll do here is I want to go over to YouTube.
Okay.
And what I would do is I would record a face-to-face video where I say, hey, I'm glad you could make it. Let me tell you why you're here. You're struggling for traffic. You want to collaborate. You want to create videos easily, but for whatever reason, it's not happening for you.
Yeah.
Leave your name and email address below, and on the next page, I'll show you the one tool that I use that explodes my content creation, helps me collaborate, and brings me tons of traffic. Okay, so all I'm going to do here is just put in the search term Google Hangouts 2016.
Okay.
And just as a placeholder, I am going to go here. No, I don't like that video. I don't quite know why that's selected that, but I'm going to go here. Okay, so all I've got to do is click pause. Okay, go down to share, and then take that YouTube link and then go back to the page. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new row.
Right, so you'd add a new row rather than a new section then?
Yeah, I would just add a new row, keep it nice and simple, and then make it a full width module. Now what I'm going to do is go down to video. And now all I have to do is to paste in the URL of that YouTube video. Now, what I have found with Divi 3 is that sometimes the video doesn't show up immediately. And so you're best to carry on, create your page, and then save your page and publish it, and then your YouTube video is there. But for some reason, the YouTube video doesn't always make it straight onto the page in its current format of being able to see everything on the screen. Okay, you can enable it on a phone, tablet, or desktop, or disable it. But that video is there now, ready to use. Okay. What I would then do is I would add another row and another full length module. But this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in an email opt-in. Okay. So here is my opt-in form, which matches the color of the site. Now all I've got to do is I've got to click on who is my service provider. That's Aweber. I can now go in and choose the list that I want. So the list that I want is Local Income Magician. And I can create a title. And I quite like just doing, yes, please, Mike, I'm in.
I love the way that this is so responsive, and that you can, as you're typing, you can see it coming up on the screen.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's so much better than Divi 2.7. You can change your background colors, do whatever you like here. Do I want the title? No, I don't think I do. But what I can do is I can now create a section, some text on the left-hand side, which if I were now to make that, let's say, a heading 2, what I can do now is I can just create a paragraph. So to find out the secret to creating quick content, collaborating with your team, and making your videos easily. I'm an old man now, I can't see very well.
You got to change the spelling on quick as well.
I do. You see what I mean? It's because I'm old. I'm nearly 50.
Oh,
With this team are making visit, and then you could just say, please leave your name and email. I don't know whether you'd say below or whatever. Please leave your name in the areas provided, okay?
just please leave your name and email. They can see where they've got to sign in, sign up.
Okay. So all I've got to do now is click on the tick box. And there it is.
Now it's flash. So even though we can't see the video, we know it's there.
Yeah.
And so presumably once you publish that page, then that's when we'll see it.
Yeah, all I've got to do is go over to the settings tab, and you'll see there it says publish. And I'm going to do that. So I'm going to hit publish.
Okay.
Now the hardest part of this is now we need to go back to edit page.
Yeah.
And this will bring us back to the back end. And you can see that I didn't title this. So what I would probably do is title this Power Tool 3. The plan for me is that I want 10 squeeze pages on 10 different pieces of software. 10 tools that I use in my business each and every day, so that people can come to the relevant pages and I can help people with what they're struggling with based on the fact I segmented the list in the right way.
Yeah.
Okay. But now when I view the page, hopefully the YouTube video is on there.
Yay. There it is.
And there it is.
Looking good.
All right.
And I like it because it's just very simple. You know, it's clean and simple.
Yeah. And my video would be here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be using this video that I've just embedded from YouTube. I would be creating my own video with Google Hangout and literally just jumping on, taking myself off screen share. Tell you what to do. Let me do that now.
Yeah.
If I go back to Chrome and I come off screen share, okay, so there I am. All right. So that's what I would do, is I would just record a video, which is me looking at the camera, knowing the 3 things that people want, knowing the 1 thing that they absolutely don't.
Yeah.
And then I would create a video that just is so glad that you could make it. To learn the secrets behind quick content creation and all the stuff that we've talked about on that squeeze page, please leave your name and email address below. And then the next step is, once somebody has signed up and they've confirmed their email address with Aweber, who I use, I then send them a link to a product download page. And that product download page is completely free. There's no affiliate links. There's no products on there. It's just, let me give you the information that you signed up for.
Yeah. And just, can you allay my fears that it's not a 2-hour video that we have to see listen to, because they really bug the hell out of me now. They're just too long.
Yeah, well, you know, when we look at what we've seen over the last couple of years, is we've seen people do 2-hour webinars where those webinars should be full of incredible content. But it's only when you get an hour in where people have told stories, how they got started, what they've struggled with, that you sit there and you think to yourself, so when are we getting into the main meat of the presentation? And so for me, look, you and I work in the British market. British people tend not to watch 2-hour webinars. They don't. What they'll do is, they know that there's an offer, because in the first 5 minutes of the webinar, they'll say, and if you stay to the end, then we have an offer for you.
Yeah.
So what most British people do is they scroll right to the end to watch the offer. And when they see the astronomical price of this product, they go, oh, there's no point in me watching the webinar.
Yeah, but some of them have got really sneaky, because there are some videos where you can't scroll to the end. And I've had that experience, and it's so annoying.
Yeah, but then what do? You end up clicking off the
you just
page, and there's
click
no point.
Yeah.
So my argument is, I mean, we did a webinar the other day that was 32 minutes long. And all we did was, it was for complete beginners, where we showed people how to get a WordPress website up in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We showed them the WordPress 2016 theme so that they could have a play.
Yeah.
Those people that watched that webinar, they could have a play. They could write their first pages. They could write their first blog posts. They could just keep in touch with us so that we could help them with a little bit of content. But there was no sense where it was costing them anything.
Yeah.
You know, they bought a domain name that was maybe a tenner a year, and maybe signed up for some hosting, but for 1 month at a time.
Yeah.
If in 30 days time, they no longer want a website, well, they've tried it, and maybe they'll look at another avenue. But what we wanted to do was, we wanted to get people from not having a website, who've been thinking about a website for some time, but we wanted them to get to a point within the first half an hour they had a website. And there was only a 4-step strategy, if you remember. And so for us, our videos are short. They are, because I think it works for the British market.
Yeah. Well, also from a learning perspective.
Do you mind if I have a sip of my coffee? It's thirsty. We're talking.
Well, it's all right. I finished mine. But I think, you know, one of the things that I don't like about these really, really long webinars is it's almost not a lot of information about the actual doing of something. You know, okay, it's nice on some levels to get somebody's background, where they came from, how they found what they do, and why they're bringing that to you. But it almost detracts from what it is I need to do, how I need to do it, where I need to go to get that stuff that I might need, and then have somebody on the end of a, you know, a Skype or a Google Hangout or somewhere where I can ask the questions I need to ask whilst I'm doing it. And I think a lot of people just get information overload.
I think you're right. And I think if I was to look at my 5 years online, I think I've spent something ridiculous like maybe $3,000, maybe even $4,000 online in 5 years. And the reason being is that I signed up for lots of email lists. I got told that the offer that was coming my way was the final missing piece of the jigsaw. It never was. And so you end up having to learn something else, which in turn means another product. And you end up buying all of this stuff. And when you talk about information overload or overwhelm, it's exactly the way it was. And there's a number of people that I respect online. Robert Plank, Lance Tamashiro, Peter Garrity, Alex Jeffries, for me, is a man that he lays it out there and he shows you the steps. All right. And so if I think about where my strategy, my formula has been over 5 years, I started off with the biggest sense of overwhelm that I've ever faced. And yet now I have a system. But I have a system because of those 4 marketers that I've just mentioned. And, you know, when you listen to Alex Jeffries, he says one thing. Create an offer, either your own or someone else's. Create a squeeze page. Provide incredible value on your squeeze page by giving a free giveaway offer. And then send traffic to that squeeze page. How simple is that? Would I have spent $4,000 online if that would have been explained to me at point 1? No. But what most internet marketers do is they They know that they want you on your list, on their list. They know that you're a buyer because you've already bought products from them.
Yeah.
So it's not in their interest to give you the answers, because if they gave you the answers, the next product that they released, you'd buy that as well. And so, you know, the bottom line is there's an awful lot that needs to work within the internet marketing industry. Some of what I see in 5 years' time won't be happening. But the secret for everybody, the reason you and I started talking about squeeze pages today on a Google Hangout, is because there are only 3 steps to creating an online business. And that is create an offer, either your own or someone else's, create a squeeze page which provides incredible value, and keep giving incredible value over time, keep giving incredible value, and then find people that need help. So, you know, I guess what those 4 marketers have done is they have shown me just how simple the process is without the feeling of overwhelm, which is huge. But Lana, look, you know how to build a Divi 3 squeeze page now.
I know, that's really exciting actually. But the next thing that I need to then look at is the product download page.
Well, I think in the next video we should have a look at that.
Okay.
I'm going to go and have a cup of tea, because I don't know about you. I mean, this is thirsty work. You know,
well, we've got a lot done in a very short space of time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how long this video is. I don't. But what I do know is that last week, when I created an 18-minute video in 18 hours, you know,
the longest ever video editing on the planet.
You know what? I don't think Schindler's List took that long. But it was all because of perfection. Desiring everything to look absolutely incredible. I mean, how long do I spend setting a microphone up? And then all of a sudden, you know, I find my Apple headphones and they sound really good. You know, so
yeah, but it's not as good as my headset here. My headset sounds just lush.
I know. But, you know, at the end of the day, what I've learned is that there's no need to be creating content that takes 2 days. There isn't. You can literally now jump onto Google Hangouts, Facebook Live. You can create those videos live to an audience. You can download those videos. You can embed them into your website. You've now got, you know, radical product creation.
Yeah. Now, what was the person that you were following that was talking about not going back over what you had recorded, so that you don't get into that danger zone of then trying to be really picky and being perfectionist? There's something about watch a couple of minutes that's different.
Well, do you know what? There are, the lady that you're talking about, there's 2 people on Google Hangouts that you've got to look at, right? One is the Hangout helper, Ronnie Binzer, okay, because the guy's a genius, all right? His background is incredible, but he just tells it as it is, and I love that. I'm a man that calls a spade, and I like people to talk to me in the same way.
Unless it's a shovel.
Unless it's a shovel. The lady that we're talking about is a lady called Brandy Sweezy, okay? And if you go and have a look at her YouTube channel, I mean, she's just a lady that's, do you know what? She is Mrs. Enthusiastic, you know, she's just always on the top of her game. She looks like she never has a down day, but she is just incredible when it comes to Google Hangouts. She actually runs Google Hangouts now, I think, for big companies, right? But the one thing that she said that is stuck in my mind, certainly for the last 6 months or so, is she said, however long your video is, watch the first minute, watch the last minute, and watch 1 minute in the middle. If you've just recorded a 2-hour webinar and you've got to watch the whole thing through, that's 2 hours wasted. And so what Brandy Sweezy says is watch the first minute, watch the last minute, watch the middle minute, and then just get it out there. And it does. I think it gets rid of the fear factor. I mean, I'm looking at myself on video now and I'm thinking, oh, I don't even know how to shave. You know, and I'm wearing me 99 pence ready readers, you know, but this whole experience has been incredibly easy.
Yeah.
It has, you know. So if it's all right with you, Lana, I'm going to go and grab myself a cup of tea.
Yeah, cool. Okay, thanks for showing me the squeeze page. So I'll have a practice, and yeah, we'll have a look at a product launch next time.
That's fine. And all I would say to anybody watching this video is, look, the plan is that we will be sharing more and more of this type of content. And so get yourself over to localincomemagician.com/free. And there you will find the 10 tools that I use each and every day just to make content creation easier. And let's get your hordes of traffic. All right. It's been great to see everybody. Lana, thanks ever so much.
Thank you.
You've been great company as always. Thanks for cracking the joke about, you know, all sorts of things. I still got that zit there.
I know.
It's a killer. I can't stop.
Toothpaste.
Well,
Put toothpaste on it.
I can't stop looking at it, and then I've got my hair.
Well, at this rate, you'll be buying that makeup for high definition TV, won't you?
I think I have to. I used to have brown hair when I was 14. Thanks so much.
Take care.
All right, bye.
Bye.